Sunni Muslim. Omar Al-Mukhtar Muhammad ibn Farhat Bredan, known among the colonial Italians as Matari of the Mnifa, was the leader of Cyrenaican Resistance against the Italian colonization of Libya and a prominent figure of the Senussi Movement. He is considered the national hero of Libya and a symbol of resistance in the Arab world. Beginning in 1911, he organized and, for nearly 20 years, led native resistance against the Colonial Italians. After many attempts, the Italian armed forces managed to capture Al-Mukhtar near Slonta and hanged him in 1931. Omar Al-Mukhtar also fought against the French colonization of Chad and the British occupation of Egypt. Early life. Omar Al-Mukhtar was born in 1862 to a poor family in the town of Zanzibar near Tobruk, belonging to the Mnifa clan, in the region of Cyrenaica under Ottoman control. Young Omar lost his father early on, and spent his youth in poverty. He was adopted by Sharif el-Ghariani, nephew of Hussein Ghariani, a political religious leader in Cyrenaica, and received his early education at the local mosque, before continuing his studying for 8 years at the Senussi University in Jebab, the holy city of the Senussi Tariqa. He became a popular expert on the Quran and an imam, joining the confraternity of the Senussi. He also came to be well informed of the social structure of his society, as he was chosen to settle intertribal disputes. Mukhtar developed a strong relationship with the Senussi movement during his years in Jebab. In 1895, Al-Mahdi Senussi traveled with him south to Kufra, and on another occasion further south to Cairo in Chad, where he was appointed as Sheikh of Zawiyutain Kalk. When the colonial French advanced on Chad in 1899, he was sent among other Senusites to help defend from the invaders, as the Senussi considered their expansion dangerous for the missionary activity in Central and West Africa. In 1902, Omar was recalled north after the death of Al-Mahdi. The new Senussi leader Ahmed Sharif as Senussi appointed him as Sheikh of the troubled Zawiyut Laksur in northern Cyrenaica. Italian invasion. In October 1911, during the Italo-Turkish War, the Royal Navy under the command of Admiral Luigi Faravelli reached the shores of Libya, then a territory subject to Ottoman Turkish control. The admiral demanded that the Turkish administration and garrison surrender the territory to the Italians or incur the immediate destruction of the city of Tripoli and Benghazi. The Turks and the Libyan allies withdrew to the countryside instead of surrendering, and the Italians bombarded the cities for 3 days, then proclaimed the Tripolitanians to be committed and strongly bound to Italy. This marked the beginning of a series of battles between the Italian colonial forces and the Libyan armed opposition in the east of Libya under Omar Mukhtar for 22 years. Guerrilla warfare. A teacher of the Quran by profession, Mukhtar was also skilled in the strategies and tactics of desert warfare. He knew local geography well and used that knowledge to advantage in battles against the Italians, who were unaccustomed to desert warfare. Mukhtar repeatedly led his small, highly alert groups in successful attacks against the Italians, after which they would fade back into the desert terrain. Mukhtar's men skillfully attacked outposts, ambushed troops, and cut lines of supply and communication. The Italian army was left astonished and embarrassed by his guerrilla tactics. In the mountainous region of Jebel Agda in 1924, Italian Governor Ernesto Bombelli created a counter-guerrilla force that inflicted a severe setback to rebel forces in April 1925. Mukhtar then quickly modified his own tactics and was able to count on continued help from Egypt. In March 1927, despite occupation of Abab from February 1926 and increasingly stringent rule under Governor Attilio Teruzzi, Mukhtar surprised Italian troops at Rahiba. Between 1927 and 1928, Mukhtar reorganized the Senussi forces, who were being hunted constantly by the Italians. Even General Teruzzi recognized Omar's qualities of exceptional perseverance and strong willpower. Pietro Badoglio, governor of Libya from January 1929, after extensive negotiations concluded a compromise with Mukhtar similar to previous Italo-Senussi accords. At the end of October 1929, Mukhtar denounced the compromise and re-established a unity of action among Libyan forces, preparing himself for the ultimate confrontation with General Rodolfo Graziani, the Italian military commander from March 1930. A massive offensive in June against Mukhtar's forces having failed, Graziani, in full accord with Badoglio, Emilio de Bono, and Benito Mussolini, initiated a plan to break the Cyrenaican Resistance. The 100,000 population of Jebel Akhdar would be relocated to concentration camps on the coast, and the Libyan-Egyptian border from the coast to Abab would be closed, preventing any foreign help to the fighters and depriving them of support from the native population. These measures, which Graziani initiated early in 1931, took the toll on the Senussi resistance. The rebels were deprived of help and reinforcements, spied upon, hit by Italian aircraft, and pursued on the ground by the Italian forces aided by local informers and collaborators. Mukhtar continued to struggle despite increased hardships and risks, but on the 11th of September 1931, he was ambushed near Slonta. Mukhtar's final adversary, Italian General Rodolfo Graziani, has given a description of the Senussi leader that is not lacking in respect. Of medium height, stout, with white hair, beard and moustache, Omar was endowed with a quick and lively intelligence, was knowledgeable in religious matters, and revealed an energetic and impetuous character, unselfish and uncompromising. Ultimately, he remained very religious and poor, even though he had been one of the most important Senussi figures. Capture and execution. Mukhtar's struggle of nearly 20 years came to an end on the 11th of September 1931, when he was wounded in battle near Slonta, then captured by the Italian army. The Italians treated the native leader hero as a prize catch. His resilience affected his jailers, who later remarked upon his steadfastness. His interrogators stated that Mukhtar recited verses of peace from the Quran. In 3 days Mukhtar was tried, convicted, and, on the 14th of September 1931, sentenced to be hanged publicly. When asked if he wished to say any last words, Mukhtar replied with a Quranic phrase, "We surely belong to Allah and to Him we shall return." On the 16th of September 1931, on the orders of the Italian court and with Italian hopes that Libyan resistance would die with him, Mukhtar was hanged before his followers in the Pau camp of Suluk at the age of 73 years. Legacy. Mukhtar's face appears on the Libyan 10-dinar bill. His final years were depicted in the movie Lion of the Desert, starring Anthony Quinn, Oliver Reed, and Doreen Puppis. It was based on the struggles of Mukhtar against Rodolfo Graziani's forces. Omar Al-Mukhtar University in 2009. Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi wore a photograph of Mukhtar in Italian captivity on his chest while on a state visit to Rome. and brought along Mukhtar's elderly son during the visit. With the Libyan civil war beginning the 17th of February 2011, Omar Mukhtar again became a symbol for a united, free Libya, and his picture is depicted on various flags and posters of the Free Libya movement. Rebel forces named one of the brigades the Omar Mukhtar Brigade after him. A masjid is named after Mukhtar in Tampa, Florida, USA, known as Masjid Omar Al-Mukhtar. A street is named after Mukhtar in Gaza City, known as Omar Mukhtar Street. A street is named after Mukhtar in Cairo, Egypt, known as Omar Al-Mukhtar Street. A street is named after Mukhtar in the West Bay area of Doha, Qatar, known as Omar Al-Mukhtar Street. A street is named after Mukhtar in Tunisia, in the city of Bizerta. A road is named after Mukhtar in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Omar Al-Mukhtar Road.